Justice Ketanji Jackson, the latest Democrat on the bench, has just made her Broadway musical debut. Justice, take it away.
Female empowerment. Sick.
Welcome to the first day of rehearsal.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. This has been a dream of mine. I think that it means that anything is possible.
Tonight, we have a very special guest, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Jackson!
There she is. She walks out on stage in her costume.
I think what I like about it is that I am having a very strongly negative reaction to it. Like I hate it. Which makes me think it must be brilliant.
Got this feeling in my body. Can't stop the feeling. Got this feeling in my body. I can't stop the feeling. Wanna see you move your body.
I did it. I made it to Broadway.
I did it. This is so embarrassing. This is so inappropriate. This is so degrading for the United States. And it's not that Ketanji Jackson enjoys theater or musicals or movies or show business. That's not what's degrading. That's actually commonplace. Many, if not most politicians, including Supreme Court justices, have some interest in or connection to the theater. But politicians broadly, Ronald Reagan, actor. Al Franken, Democrat side, actor. Donald Trump, he's at least been in a bunch of movies and TV shows. The skills of the theater and the skills of politics are quite similar. I myself, I was an actor. There are plenty of people in show business have been actors, have been interested in theater and film and TV. Justice Antonin Scalia adored opera. He was a huge fan of opera. Ruth Bader Ginsburg loved opera. In fact, there was an opera written about Scalia and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and they went to see that opera. I don't think that Scalia sang any arias as a tenor, though. He certainly wasn't in any Broadway musicals. Why? It's perfectly ordinary for politicians to have some kind of interest in the theater. The skills are so similar. But when you become a politician, when you become a statesman, certainly when you become a judge, you need to be sober. You need to be judicious. You need to be serious. Most important of all, you're supposed to be unimpressed by crowds. The most disturbing part of that video for me is how much Ketanji Jackson loves the applause of the crowd. Maybe she should have ran for Congress if that was the case. But judges, in particular, are supposed to be unimpressed by the crowd. They are not seeking votes. They are not seeking popularity. They're not supposed to be. They are supposed to be implementing the law. They are supposed to be interpreting the law. They are supposed to be interpreting the Constitution. They are supposed to be standing against the crowd much of the time. That's not what she's doing. The activist judges, which tend to be on the left, they are impressed by the crowds. They do want to rile up the mob. And the leftist politicians want that kind of pressure on the court. You remember when Chuck Schumer came out, he said, listen, Justice Kavanaugh, listen, Justice Gorsuch, you have reaped the whirlwind. You're about to see. You're not going to know what's coming. And then what happens? Leftist tries to murder Brett Kavanaugh. Justice Alito has to move out of his house because the Supreme Court decision in Dobbs overruling Roe v. Wade was leaked. All of this political force. And what does Ketanji Jackson do? She decides she's going to go become a Broadway star. And she's going to go say all of these lines in an unconvincing way that are really highly polemical, highly party political. It's just so degraded. But I do understand it. I understand it even at a deeper level than politicians and statesmen often have a connection to the theater. The deeper level is today, show business is considered more desirable than serving in the government. That was not always the case. It used to be, in the old days, that actors, singers, dancers, they were considered kind of the lowest of the low. They were lumped in with criminals and prostitutes. And statesmen, those were very serious people. Today, I think that's basically flipped. It used to be if you wanted to have real influence and prestige in society, in public life, why you would vie to have some public office. Today, however, even the people who are already in public office want to be in show business. They feel they can have more influence in show business. Think about how many elected politicians have podcasts at this point. Senator Cruz and I launched a podcast together. I think it was basically the first of its kind. And it was this unique opportunity during the impeachment when we could break through the establishment media and Senator Cruz could walk from the Capitol. We'd go into a studio at 1 o'clock in the morning and explain to the American people what's going on. That was a highly targeted, innovative thing. But when that show hit number one, just about every politician in the country decided he was going to have a podcast. Sometimes people leave Congress and they get a promotion, and their promotion is to have a cable news talk show or to have a podcast or to have a radio show. It's flipped. As the government, as the political order has become impotent, as legislators lose their power, they lose their power to bureaucrats, they lose their power to private corporations that exert a lot of control over public life. You think of the big tech companies that control the public square. As that all happens, power actually starts to move into the media, into show business, into Hollywood, or into whichever entity in show business comes next. That's a fact. Ketanji Jackson is revealing that a little bit, and it's probably not good for our country, but it is what it is. That was a great clip. Stop. Ring the bell. Subscribe. Thank you.